It's Week 10 of the NFL, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Eagles and the Bills on Thursday night primetime.
From the home of the Bills since way back in 1973, there's a look at Bills Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both, and at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
Now the first carry for Devin Singletary, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand.
And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. So the Eagles now, they'll be in great position here to start things out. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. The numbers for Sanders last week, 16 carries, 94 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Working with his 2nd and 4. They'll drop to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Sam Hubbard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll look to throw here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Looking again for Watkins, and this time that's complete. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Charles, Thursday night game,
I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And it bangs off the right upright, no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So from nothing less there than chip shot distance, a tough miss from the right hash mark.
Well, this is just a wobbler. I mean, he knows he's got to get it going left, but that was right all the way.
So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Here's Singletary, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to have a third down. To throw, it's Allen. And that is incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. 5-3 their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit, because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this one's incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And one more time, that's Watkins. And he's going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
He finds his man complete. That's Richards. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion. Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Gregory Rousseau able to bring him down. 2nd down, back to Sanders. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense. Just flooded the field with defensive backs. Blanketed everyone. Took away all the passing angles. Thus, the incompletion.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Singletary to get the drive started. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Uncorks one for Davis. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Jalen Reagor was the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league. But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Second and 10. Back to throw again. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now they face a third and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it, looking at a fourth down and 2. Going for it with Sanders, and I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop at a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Bills are going to get the football back.
Everyone gears up for third down, talks about the importance of it. But fourth down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on fourth down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion. One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you. When you're dead last in the NFL in third-down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about them picking up that one? That was big for them.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Allen. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Allen. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Crucial foul. Roughing the captain. Defense.
I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's 2nd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Crucial foul. Roughing the captain. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Sanders on 1st down, not finding much of anything there, as he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Goddard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So So it's a second missed field goal here in this first half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens because you wonder if this will affect the fourth down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Allen. And incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Allen. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They start the drive here with Gainwell.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
2nd and 4. That'll be caught. Lega with it.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Now a throw here, hauled in. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive.
Touchdown, Philadelphia!
Jalen Lega,
his first touchdown on the year. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. So that drive, 4 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that's incomplete.
Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And taken right on the 30. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. On is the punter, Townsend, as he gets this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The football back to the Bills and Stephon Diggs. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried, because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest, and with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Allen working the middle here. That's complete to Knox, the tight end. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. And in this very... And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Toward the sideline, did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. On 1st down, Allen. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So they decline it, as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
This will be taken at the 10. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean 1st half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Here's Allen to throw it. And Davis with it left side. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. A big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
Get right, get right.
So thanks to the late. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On first down, Sanders. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll stay on the ground with Gainwell again. And he's taken down inside the 30. On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. 44 yards on the ground for him so far.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Richards. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Looking to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Ed Oliver in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. He's in a groove right now. 2 sacks last week. Also got AFC Defensive Player of the Week for that effort. Another sack right there.
He just innately understands how to get to the quarterback. He's going to be blocked differently each and every time. He knows how to counter, how to adjust, and how to get home, as they like to say.
Over the middle, complete. It's Watkins. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The kick by Elliott is good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Just about every quarterback's trained to really look downfield. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. From the 45 on 2nd down, Allen. He'll try and fire this downfield for Singletary. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. He's going to go up top again, and it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge, and it's going to bring up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it, and they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Tay Crowder able to make the play. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And this will be incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Stop short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Here we go, 50, Mike 50.
Allen gonna throw. Finding Knox there, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
They'll run on first down. Singletary. Singletary loses it. And the Eagles have recovered. But he has been a workhorse for... And now, as with every potential turnover,
After review the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. To the air, Allen. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the Bills have tied the game here in the 4th. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And able to get this out to the 25. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 36.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Back to throw again. He finds his tight end Goddard. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a first down. They get this to Smith on the jet sweep. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. From the gun, a give to Gainwell. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Sanders. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. They get this to Smith on the jet sweep. Able to power through, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
They'll try to run with Sanders. He's going to be marked down very close to the first down marker, but it looks like he's a yard short. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. Temptation there certainly to go for this, but I think you have to kick it, right?
The temptation coming from the fantasy owners, right? I mean, there are some that are going to want to kick it because they may have that kicker, but overall, get more yardage, maybe a chance for...
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. A great effort there. Keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Eagles have moved out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills going to take over again on offense. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Open man is Marquez Stevenson. And they're able to... So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Allen. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. That's taken in by Knox. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They're going to run for it. It's Moss. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They get this to Smith on the jet sweep. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. A quick throw into the hands of Lega. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Another run here with Sanders. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd.
And sometimes things come together exactly like you want. It's not just been the volume of carries he's had in this contest. It's been the production as well.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Eagles, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to say